The war is over. Victorious Renaissance soldiers are marching into an Italian estate in Messina, ready to trade their heavy armor for celebration and romance. Among these returning men is a young soldier named Claudio. He catches sight of the governor's daughter, Hero, and is instantly infatuated. But their connection is purely aesthetic. Claudio falls for an idealized image of Hero before they have ever shared a real conversation. To secure the match, Claudio's commander, Prince Don Pedro, proposes a benign deception. He will wear a mask at that night's party, pretend to be Claudio, and woo Hero on the young man's behalf. At the evening's celebration, this masked proxy courtship succeeds. Don Pedro secures Hero's agreement, locking in an engagement built entirely on a performance. In this aristocratic society, love functions as a staged performance, orchestrated through proxies and appearances rather than private intimacy. This rigid formality sits in sharp contrast to Beatrice and Benedict. These two share a mutual, highly public disdain for romance, engaging in a merry war of rapid-fire insults that rejects the polite courtship of their peers. To understand how Shakespeare drives this plot, we have to look at the play's title, and specifically the word nothing. In the Elizabethan era, it was a pun on noting, the act of eavesdropping, observing, and spreading rumors. This noting functions as Messina's invisible web. Characters rarely act on direct evidence. Their reality is shaped by overheard secrets and rumors. This reliance on second-hand information makes them highly susceptible to manipulation. A whisper in a garden carries more weight than first-hand observation. As the play progresses, every major turn, from falling in love to the brink of tragedy, will be the direct result of a staged deception. The first major deception is completely well-intentioned. The friends of Beatrice and Benedict coordinate a trick designed to force the two skeptics to drop their pride and admit their feelings. The trap uses the mechanics of noting. The group ensures Benedict hides nearby while they perform a fake, loud conversation about how Beatrice loves him. As he overhears his friends, Benedict's formidable pride crumbles. For the first time, the man who mocked love begins to accept the possibility of vulnerability. Hero and her companions exact trap for Beatrice. They lure her into overhearing a fabricated story of Benedict's secret devotion, successfully convincing the fierce skeptic that she is loved. The irony is clear. These two hyper-intellectual cynics can only drop their defenses when they are presented with a manufactured lie. But this noting can easily be weaponized. Don John, an agent of chaos, serves as the dark mirror to these benevolent tricks, using the same tactics of eavesdropping to destroy happiness. Don John stages a malicious encounter at Hero's bedroom window, leading Claudio to see a henchman with a woman he believes is Hero. It is a visual lie designed to shatter Claudio's trust. Claudio accepts this staged visual proof instantly. His idealized joy turns into violent, self-righteous rage, and he decides to use the most public stage possible for his revenge. The next day, the wedding ceremony halts abruptly. At the altar, Claudio publicly accuses and shames Hero, leaving her family devastated and the community in shock. Shakespeare pushes the comedy toward tragedy here, demonstrating that when a society relies solely on appearances and rumors, reputations can be destroyed in an instant. To buy time, Friar Francis proposes a counter-deception. The family will fake Hero's death. They hope the shock of her passing will induce guilt in Claudio and allow the truth to surface. In the empty church, Beatrice and Benedict are finally alone. Without an audience to perform for, they drop their comedic masks and formally confess their love. But the romance is immediately tested. Beatrice issues a stark demand to Benedict: kill Claudio. This ultimatum forces Benedict to choose. He must weigh his deeply entrenched male camaraderie against his loyalty to Beatrice. The scale tips toward the rose. He chooses love over his friends. By challenging Claudio, Benedict transforms from a passive, witty observer into a man of action. He proves that in Messina, true love requires tangible, risky loyalty. While the nobles struggle with these heavy choices, the truth is finally uncovered by the most unlikely source, Dogberry, the hilariously incompetent local constable. While the clever nobles were blinded by their own pride, Dogberry's foolish watchman accidentally overheard Don John's men bragging about the deception. The truth comes out not through logic, but by accident. Claudio, realizing he has maligned an innocent woman, is consumed by remorse. As penance, he agrees to marry a veiled stranger, a niece of Leonato, without seeing her face. At the altar, the stranger is unmasked. Hero is revealed alive and innocent. Tragedy is averted, and the community gathers for a double wedding. The resolution reveals a recurring truth in Messina. Pride often blinds the most observant characters, and appearances are easily manufactured. Ultimately, the loudest, most cynical arguments in this story hide the most resilient feelings.